Three, two, one. Fake clap. Welcome to the AfrOtaku podcast, episode 36, a podcast where we talk about anime, manga, and everything else. I am Mr. Good Guy, aka MGG, and I'm joined here by my co-host who will introduce himself starting right now.
Hey, it's your resident big nigga, player 5.
Wow.
Disrespect.
What's going on? It's Jugger.
What up, what up, what up? I am Gramps.
It's your pocket, Deuce. You leaving it open.
From beyond the grave is Deuce with the random.
And from the coronavirus ward, it's
From the quarantine zone.
All right, well, let's jump right into what?
I'm fighting through the virus, you know.
Out here trying to live. But let's jump right into it. We're skipping stories time for this week, and we're just going to jump straight into the cut the check product. Gramps, take it away.
All right, so for this product, we're going to go into this one that I found on Indiegogo. Well, I actually found it somewhere else, but it's called Puns of Anarchy, Outrageous Pun-Making Party Game. Now, this one isn't exactly, a regular piece of technology like I usually post. This one is more of a game that I feel like would actually have a lot of potential of being something much more interesting, because you know how everybody basically has their own version of apples to apples. You got Cards Against Humanity and all these other games that add on their own little quirks. This one changes it up a bit. It gives you a topic, and you have a set of cards, I would assume that you have, and you would change either a whole word or part of a word in order to make it kind of tailored toward whatever the topic is for that round. And I feel like that has a lot of opportunity to make things a bit fun. And as long as everybody in the group has a creative mindset, it could definitely create a huge amount of competition amongst the people within your group. So if you were to see on the website itself, like, for example, if they were to pull up food and then they have you have Wu-Tang Clan in your card, you can change the Wu to Chew and it turns into Chew-Tang Clan, something like that. Okay. So I definitely fuck with this game if they can give us a good enough variety of stuff that you can make with. So be on the lookout for it. Give me you guys opinions on it.
I think I have more fun with this game if I was drunk or high. But I mean, I get the concept. I think I can definitely see people buying the game. Would I buy it? No. But if a friend of mine had it and was like, do you want to play it? I would be like, yes, after alcohol or like that part. So
Yeah, no, it looks like it has good potential, but like pretty much as you said, Gramps, like the full potential being unlocked from the game is going to be completely dependent on the players. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, like that's kind of like a yin and a yang there, right? I mean, if your squad got the stuff, then it could probably be, a hilarious night. But if you're trying to pull out a game to maybe start the party with some people who are like more introverted or something like that, I don't think it's going to work out. But no, I mean,
that's the reason they got the drinking games, bro. Huh? That's the whole reason for drinking games, so people can get a little bit of alcohol in them and get closer to each other.
I guess. I mean, like I said, the potential is there. It's just, I think it's just all dependent. But no, it looks decent.
Yeah, I kind of agree with everybody else. Like, yeah, but I mean, really, honestly, those types of games are all like that. Like, with the right group, it would go from like pretty fun to like, hilarious or memorable night. So it just depends on who you got. And like MGG said, everybody's state of mind.
All right. That sounds good.
How much is it going for right now?
I think the price that I saw was like $33.
No, they got dropped to 15. Fuck that. $30 for that. It don't even got a phone component. At least if you could like make it have some technology integration, I go, yeah, sure. But it's just some pieces of paper and a bunch of categories. Like, there's no way that should be $30.
You know you
I
just
feel
I
like
feel like
that's normal
you know
for
you
board
low
games.
key just thought of an
I
app.
feel
Man.
you.
You low
I
key
feel
just
you.
thought of an app, bro.
I guess so, but like I feel like when I think of other board games, even though I hear what you're saying, like they probably go for that much on the rig, I just feel like there's more to them than this, in my opinion. Like I feel like I could create this game myself.
Mm.
Like the topics are just any topic you want, and then a bunch of names people have heard of. And I don't know, like I see Cards Against Humanity, but that has like hella expansion packs. Like there's a lot of ideas there that I don't feel like I would necessarily just be able to come up with. And like so with the other board games I've seen, for this one, I just don't see like the ideas that unique that I go like $30 really. Like that's not gonna that $30 will make me think before I make the purchase. 15 will be like, sure, whatever. You could catch me on an off day and I buy it. But 30, I'm like, no, I'm gonna get cards instead. Like it's not even competitive.
Well, it's probably because it's just starting off. People got to make it at least a little bit of money so they can release it to the market and all that shit before the prices drop down. That would be my guess.
I just feel like it's crazy that it cost them $30 to make that game. Like, what had to cost them like less than $30 to make one pack of that game? Because I'm guessing they're making profit off of one sale. But I go, it's like a bunch of. It doesn't even look that involved to me, but whatever. I mean, hey.
Well,
All right.
Are y'all buying it for the 30? Let me ask that. Because I just went in. Like maybe I'm tweaking. Are y'all buying it for the 30?
I will say a person that buys like board games and stuff like that, 30 is not I would say overpriced for like board games. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you looking honestly at like 60, 70 for some of these. Like they cost like regular video games. And I'm sure the high price is so that like they can try and make some money back. Because it's not like people buying these shits off the shelf. So like if it was fun and like it's like it, I only buy it if I can guarantee at least one night of fun. For one night of fun, $30 ain't bad. If I get 2 nights, I feel like I made my money back.
That's a fair comment. I mean, I'm pretty much agreeing with Player 5. I mean, as far as like a price for a board game, $30 I believe is common. Now, would I purchase said game? Probably not. But I mean, like maybe if that got cut down like another 10, I would at least consider it. But at least like with the squad I normally like have a game night or like turn up with, I mean, this game just seems a little too repetitive to what we already do anyway for me to drop another 30 for it. So
all right. Now, no, I guess to put it in a different perspective, if it was Cards of Humanity way back when it first came out, and you saw this on Indiegogo for $30, would you have dropped that money on it?
probably,
yeah, I dropped it.
I could see that. Yeah,
Bet.
I still ain't bought it, so shit, nope.
Got him.
All right.
Yeah, I like different types of board games. So,
oh, here you go with the. Go ahead, have your pinky out, Player 5. Educate us on the
pinky up. if niggas not playing Secret Hitler, is you really trying to have fun with your friends? That's all I'm saying. Secret Hitler the shit, bro. Pick it up, play it. It's gonna run you about 60, 70, but it's fun as hell.
Damn.
That's kind of that's hefty.
But like I just have to ask this question because I feel like I've noticed a lot with these types of games. I feel like games like this appeal to like I don't want to say white, but I'm trying to say white, like a wider audience. And I feel like when I like bring people who I don't know, say are like not as associated with that, like I don't know, I don't want to say hood black people, but hood black people, so to speak. They don't enjoy these games like at all. They're like, what the fuck is this? I hate. You can see like the visible hate in their face from playing games like Cards Against Humanity, and I'm sure this game would be another one. If anything, I could just see the amount of my friends that are on the Hooder side just being pissed off at playing this game because they don't find puns funny. So
I agree. I feel like and it's not necessarily. I get the distinction you're trying to make. So let's not say necessarily like white, black, or income levels. I think it has to do with what you find funny. And I think that like Cards Against Humanity is more like this like slapstick, like goofy humor that like black people in general are generally more like, yeah, nah, nigga, I don't find that funny. That's just like gross or lame. You know what I'm saying? But and not so I think it's just like your humor type. And then the same thing with like, for example, Secret Hitler. Like I feel like if you don't know what the definition of fascism is, you're already gonna be like, what the fuck are we doing? Why are we playing this game? You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's why I'm like, yeah, I think some of these games definitely have to do with it's about the audience. You know what I'm saying? Right. Now, if they made like a Cards Against Humanity Hood edition, I bet niggas will fuck with it.
They can't do that though. I'm sure that's owned by some white motherfuckers. They would be getting protests at their door.
If black niggas made it, it'll fly, guaranteed.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, guaranteed. But they can't do that shit.
but we could definitely propose it and get millions, bro. Look, millions on the table, bro. That's my new segment.
I think we would have to start it on our own. Yeah, you should probably start that segment, but we just start it on our own and then have them buy it from us.
Yeah, it has to be called. Do it for the culture.
Mm-hmm. Do it for the. Hey, that'd be a dope ass. Hey, we got an idea. We might have to cut all this shit out the podcast.
I guarantee you that Cards Against Humanity don't have any jokes in there about reasons you got beat. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like every black person got a funny ass story like, oh, reasons I got beat to add to that. Whereas I feel like normal Cards Against Humanity like, oh, that's abusive. I'm like, shit, that's my shit.
It's kind of like Black Card Revoke. Black Card Revoke is trying to get there with that. I played it like once. It was fun.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. All right. Well, that's it for Cut the Check. Put a bow on that. Next is the anime segment. So, I guess we'll go in the same order as last time when the audio didn't work. So, My Hero Academia, Hero Rising, Player 5, you want to drop that review again?
Yeah, you know, it's hard for me to follow up an act. You just don't kind of get what you get.
We'll act pretty surprised at the stuff that you mentioned.
Right. It ain't the same, bro.
What? Why go in textbook?
So, my review of My Hero Rising, or My Hero Academia Hero Rising, really quick. So basically, the overview of the story is basically UA got another fucking like plan they do for how they train their students, and they basically sending them to this small, relatively crime-free island where the students are going to act as the pro heroes, completely autonomous. They have to run the operations. They have to decide which students go out on the missions and things like that. And it's basic stuff like you'd expect around a rural Japanese island, like, oh, help this old lady carry her groceries. Like, oh shit, my tire is broken. Kaminari, my phone's about to die. Charge it up. You know what I'm saying?
Oh wow. Hey, don't hold my boy Kaminari like that.
What'd you say?
Like, were there any teacher supervisors at all?
No. It's all students, just completely no supervisors whatsoever. So basically, the kind of like evil backstory going on is just like, so in the manga we get to a point where what's that boy Shigaraki finally proved himself a worthy successor, and then the Dr. Ujiko was like, hey, before I put you in this tub, I need you to do one more thing for me. So that one more thing was transporting our main villain of the story, which is this guy named Nine, who had All for One's quirk transplanted into him. But because he just, some quirks don't match with some niggas, he can't hold infinite amount of quirks. He can only hold 9 of them. And his goal is just basically pure anarchy. He want to flip the world on his head. And this nigga got like 8 strong ass quirks. Like, each one of these quirks are probably like top 10 hero quirks. You know what I mean? So like, he not coming in soft as fuck. Like his one weather control quirk can level an island by itself. You know what I'm saying? So basically, this dude, he got the Itachi, so he's just dying for no reason because he's just too strong. And so he like, damn, I gotta get rid of this Itachi disease. The only way I can do that is get somebody with a healing factor. He finds some dude who has a healing factor, but the issue is that dude's quirk only works on type A blood, and he has apparently type B. So he's like, all right, now I gotta find this guy's kid because there's a chance that maybe the quirk got passed down and it got better. Which leads us to why this super powerful villain comes to this podunk ass island. Obviously that leads shit into happening, right? Like random super swole villain comes to shitty middle of nowhere island to box on some kids. That's basically the gist of what's going on. Obviously there's some in between, so like if you watch the movie you are gonna get more out of it. But that's basically the gist of what's going on. The fight scenes are amazing. You get to see just about every character that's worth something, show something cool. But like, I would say like they break it into tiers. Like your top 5 characters, them niggas gonna pop off. Your next 5, they gonna do something cool. The 5 after that, they gonna do what you expect them to do. Like Momo is just gonna make fucking cannons, the same thing she do every fucking fight ever.
Wow.
And the bottom 5
Mineta must not have been doing shit in this movie, huh?
Yeah. They was like, bro, he ain't even try and stick a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what B that was with the whole shit. That nigga, he was just the crib, I guess. Smart did the same. And so the fun part is Kaminari got to pop off because don't you know the move he just did in the chapter where he did like the Kamina figure point and got hit with the lightning bolt?
Yep.
He basically did that exact same thing in the movie, except this nigga lightning bolt, he did not eat that shit. That nigga instantly got stupid head after he got hit with that lightning bolt. Like that lightning bolt was real. But yeah, man, that boy 9 was fucking niggas up, bro. Like this was a pure ass whooping. Like there's no way these kids could have won. I feel like if this nigga was like, hey, I'm trying to kill kids today, they all would be dead. Even Deku got to a point where that nigga was like, fuck it, bro. I gotta go 100% all for one. He 100% Detroit Smash, and dude ate that shit. Like, nah, nigga, even All Might not run in my fade, nigga. You know what I'm saying? But that kind of led to like the main, I guess, spoiler of the show, which like if you ain't watched it yet, oh well, you know what I'm saying?
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
The alert is here. But low key, I already spoiled hella movie. But anyway, basically, after dropping the 100% Detroit Smash and realizing that even All Might's power couldn't beat this guy, this dude was like, "Hey, I'm finally gonna admit what the fandom been saying for a long time, nigga. I shouldn't have this quirk." And he gave his quirk. He gave his quirk away to Bakugo. And then Bakugo had fucking all for one. They both were doing like double 100% smashes. The animation was awesome. It was like Deku versus Overhaul level animation, except better. And then Bakugo was doing like all for one boosted fucking explosions, and that shit was going nuts. Like he was really nuking niggas. And Deku used that float quirk. Like he was like, he was like, once he only had the embers left because he gave away all for one, he was like, fuck it, you about to get all the smoke shit, and just like went all out. And that started causing that nigga to float. Like he like floated off the ground and was like sped at him and stuff like that. I was like, oh, that's really cool. They kind of putting in all these nods from the anime or from the manga that we ain't even seen yet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I thought that was real clean. But yeah, at the end of the day, they really didn't beat Nine. His Itachi disease beat him.
Ooh.
But at least they admitted it. At least they was like, hey, bro, this is
Yeah.
our goal. Like, we can't beat this nigga. Let's just, like, let his Itachi disease beat him. But yeah, I got to run real quick to grab my food, so I'm just going to wrap this up. That's basically the movie. It was amazing. I give it a lit plus. I will watch it again. If you're a fan of My Hero, you need to watch this movie. It's so good.
Snap.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
All right. And that was My Hero Academia Heroes Rising. Let's move on. He just walked away. So let's move on to Aang versus Naruto. So we were seeing this pop up in a decent spot, I guess, last month. And I felt like we all wanted to chime in on it. So most people were agreeing that Naruto would beat Aang, but I think there might have been a couple of people who were still trying to make an argument for Aang.
Right.
What do y'all think?
I personally think Aang got no chance. Just period. Naruto too strong, too fast, too much energy. It just ain't happening. Long story short.
All right.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I don't even know why this is a discussion, to be honest.
So, all right.
Just put it. I just want to make this statement. Do you think Aang would be able to stop a meteor like the one that Madara brought down upon the Earth?
Avatar
that's an interesting question.
Aang might be the only person who has a chance, and even then, I would assume that if he did defeat it, like he's done after. Like
Right.
it's hard for me to even see him taking it out, but I feel like if he did even take out a meteor of that size, like that's like a month's worth of like rest. Like this nigga's out. Like he's not doing anything after that stuff.
I think that Aang could actually stop that meteor for the simple fact that like the Avatar lore, as far as what avatars did that they did before Aang was the Avatar. I think one of them was like an earthbender who was able to actually move a mountain or something like that. I don't know why that's coming to mind. But in any sense.
Oh yeah, Boomy. I think Boomy did that.
Oh, did he? All right. Well, I mean, Boomy wasn't even like an Avatar, so
Kyoshi moved the whole island.
Oh, that's what it was.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Kyoshi of the it was like the female warrior island, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay, that's what it was. But in any case, I mean, if Homegirl was able to move a mountain, I think it's like at least decently safe to say Homie could probably stop a meteor if he was like in Avatar state, obviously. But yeah, I think he could do it.
Are we talking about the Aang versus Naruto?
Yeah. Grams just asked if we feel like Aang could stop a Madara meteor.
Yeah, I think he could.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I think like as far as I mean, like I think all of us are in agreement that Aang is strong. We just think that like Naruto is practically like a god after the show, as like most of the fandom. So I guess if anything, it might be just more accurate to maybe scale back Naruto to like maybe like a decent fight. Like right at the start of Shippuden or something, or like maybe like right after a little bit, something like that. As far as like to actually be a decent fight, maybe that could be a better discussion.
I agree that it should basically be like beginning Shippuden Naruto. And my main reason for why Naruto will win is this is kind of something I bring up with people whenever we do like some type of versus fight. Is like you also got to remember the frame of reference of the world, and so in the frame of Aang's reference, like he does not move exceptionally faster than a normal person. Meaning, like a normal person may not be able to keep up with him, but they can still see him. And in the Naruto world, normal people can't even see some of the movements ninjas make, and Naruto is one of the fastest ninjas in history. So it's like, yeah, Aang actually wouldn't even be able to perceive what this nigga is doing, right? So like, if we just kept him like they world to day world, there's no way Aang can box him. Period. Even if he got strength feats, the speed feat alone is too bogus. But like, if we were to get rid of that, like, I guess some people would like, oh, let's just scale their speed together. Then it becomes an interesting fight. But like we said, late game Naruto still too fucking busted. Like that nigga a god. So maybe like mid Shippuden Naruto, if we scale their speed together, or if we don't scale their speed, maybe beginning Shippuden Naruto versus him.
True. Yeah, except like Naruto doesn't really get fast until he like really starts manipulating Nine-Tails chakra, right? If I remember
right. Are we talking fast for the Naruto verse,
like
or just
fast, like Fourth Hokage fast? You know what I mean? Like you still got like decent ninja speed, but you ain't like special fast. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're right.
This whole thing, the whole idea of people's moves, though, brought up something interesting to me. Considering that Naruto's Rasengan is what you can consider a air-based move, would you say that Aang can actually recreate his own Rasengan and potentially throw Naruto's Rasengan right back at him if Naruto were to throw it at him? Pause.
I wouldn't be surprised, but I still don't think it would end the fight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if we're scaling world to world, then we could assume that if like Aang entered the Naruto verse, basically his ability to control the four elements would transfer into like nature chakra, or you could say that he's a master of like the different chakra types or whatever. So he has an affinity to both wind, fire, water, and whatever. So the chakra shits are, then I wouldn't put it past that he could make the Rasengan, but I would also go like, does it stop him from getting dropped? No.
it's
like, okay, cool.
Well, we have multiple characters that basically have all of his powers put together. We have, for example, you can say when Sasuke uses a fucking fire jutsu, you can say that that's fire bended, for example. I don't know if you would want to give him. I don't know if you would want to give him. What's it called with the black fire?
Amaterasu, no.
I don't know if you want to give.
I would see that as. I would say Amaterasu is the same thing as blood bending, where it's like a unique to that thing type of ability. So avatars, as far as I know, can't learn that type of shit. Like it stops at basic bending, so they don't learn like lava bending or metal bending. Like they can't go that far. They just know like, oh, I know basic earth shit. Correct me if I'm wrong, other niggas, but that's what I thought.
Okay.
That could be debated.
I would like to.
I don't know about that, to be honest.
Okay.
They can learn those, but the thing is that like they actually have to learn it. It's just not innate to them, right? Like so, Aang can lava bend in Avatar state because Avatar Roku could lava bend, but no Avatar could metal bend before Korra. So before Korra, no Avatar will be able to metal bend. You know, so all it takes is for one Avatar to know how to do it, and then they all can. And honestly, like Naruto is so strong at the end, you would have to consider Aang like a sage and just say, oh, this nigga can use any elemental jutsu and he's still getting work. Like, cause think about it. Avatar is just, that's nothing, that's being pain. Like all his abilities are just being pain. And pain is like he up there, but he ain't banging with in-game Naruto. You know what I mean? That nigga literally no more powerful than Pain if you give him all of the ability to control all the elements. It's like, okay, Pain can do that too, and he still got mobbed.
I mean, I was gonna say low key, Gara can probably put his ass in a coffin and crush him.
Whoa, pause. Are you saying Gara could beat Aang?
Apparently that's not true because Ataka beat that nigga ass. So
oh yeah, they did put that on that episode, didn't they?
I don't know. Apparently, Gara ass would get dropped by Aang, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyways, 10 out of 10 fights. What y'all giving them?
I'll give Aang 2 wins.
Wow. Really? All right. What are the scenarios for those 2 wins? Just curious.
So I think I always give somebody a W if they catch somebody sleeping, like literally actually sleeping, and then you assassinate their ass.
But you know he got Kurama protecting him in his sleep, though, right?
He got what?
Kurama protects him in his sleep. Like, they showed that in Boruto. Like, dude tried to walk up on him, and Kurama just walked out this nigga body and was like, yo, what you doing, fam?
What the fuck? I did not know about that.
Yeah, apparently that's
Holy
a thing
shit.
now. Yeah.
Okay.
So you might not be able to catch that nigga sleeping is all I'm trying to say.
Good gosh, man. Well, he might have to take a one lucky win then.
I gotta steal MGG's original score and call this an 11 out of 10.
Come on,
Damn.
Wow, I should have said my shit first, man. I didn't
Any
know we were
nigga can get
score
snake, bro.
Wow. Wow.
Oh my God, the pettiness. Nah, I'll give Naruto 10 out of 10 though. I just don't see it.
All right. Well, then I'm gonna toss out a 12 out of 10. So I had gave the 11 out of 10 because I felt like Naruto could follow this nigga to the spirit world and beat his ass. But now I'm adding another one because I feel like Naruto has the ability to travel dimensions. Not him himself, but Sasuke can help him out. So if this nigga Aang is like, nah, fuck it, I dip, I'm going back to fucking where I'm from. Naruto would be like, nah, nigga, Sasuke, run that shit, man.
This nigga say
he's beat his ass over there.
You said he gonna stop this nigga from reviving 100 years in the future and creating that new avatar. He said no, he gonna kill that whole lineage.
Yeah, no, he's stomping this nigga out.
Naruto the type of nigga to be like, hey, the avatar state just a Jinchuriki. Now I'm cool with all your avatars now, nigga. I'm the avatar.
You right. You right.
Oh,
That's
no.
fucked up. He gonna take all his friends and shit. Power of friendship too OP.
All right. Speaking of friends, perfect segue. So someone on a decent spot, Mr. Edie, posted a video saying why he thinks Rock Lee is better than Naruto and Sasuke. And we just have to sit here and respond to that. You know what I'm saying? And tell him me tripping, aka trash or lit Rock Lee. Let's get into it.
All right.
So
I think I'll start.
Most of the points he.
Oh, go ahead. You can go ahead. You want?
No, go ahead.
Okay, cool. Yes, I was just gonna start by kind of pointing out some of the things that he had mentioned about why Rock Lee isn't lit, and now because of technical difficulties, we several weeks out.
Yeah.
So I might be missing some points, but it'd be that way.
Real quick to help you out, his 4 main points were character development, strength, personality, and results.
All right, bet. See, he fucked up by adding results, period. All right, cool. So I don't have to mention that Jugga got it for us. Sweet. Well, I guess I'll just talk about them. So you said character development was first?
Yep.
All right. My nigga definitely didn't develop as a character. His character started out by basically saying like, hey, I live in a world where without chakra, you're basically doomed to become a mediocre ninja. My goal is to not become a mediocre ninja. I want to be a splendid ninja, quote unquote, right? And this nigga started out, whooping up some of our guinea niggas, showing that he got some skill. But then later on, he does nothing but take L's. Gaara takes a L. Kimimaro takes a L. Versus himself, technically, he took a L because he beat himself. Like that nigga. Even towards the end, if he really wanted to show he was a splendid ninja, if this nigga would have jumped up in front of Madara and went 8 gates, that would have been so much more impactful. At the end of the day, nobody could have ever said shit. Like, we can't say shit about my guy. That nigga solidified. But not Rock Lee. Rock Lee didn't jump up and go 8 gates. That nigga decided to be a basic bitch his whole life. And now he getting beat up by his son. That nigga ain't getting no development.
That is true. They should have low-key jumped that nigga, Madoru.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Missed out opportunities. No development.
Anybody got anything else to say about his development?
To me, I would say no. He didn't develop at all. I think we all wanted him to, and we saw some great scenes from him, which make you think he developed. But even if you take his biggest moments, like the closest thing to character development was overcoming the like broken leg thing to almost get his shit kicked in by Kinimaru, and then going to Shippuden, it was like all of the opportunities that he had to really show us that like he's supposed to take the torch from Mike Guy. Mike Guy just stepped in and did that. Like they could have had him fight what's his name? Dude with the sword, Itachi's partner. Yeah, Kisame.
Oh,
We could have had him. We could have had him build a relationship with Kisame and maybe make Mike Guy take the L to him so Lee could beat him. They didn't do that.
true.
Mike Guy versus Madara. Great scene. Put a lot of respect on Mike Guy himself. That could have been something that was saved for Rock Lee instead. So we still see like this nigga was still doing some shit on the journey, but no, it was trash. And Mike Guy has chakra, from what I understand. He just was like a shittier ninja. So it doesn't even like Mike Guy's dub still don't really put the respect on Rock Lee's name because that nigga can summon and he has chakra. So
True.
yeah, no character development for me.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty much basic startup, like pretty much no hope, should have never been a ninja. And then he actually became a ninja in technical terms, which is great. But it's like it was just an incompleted journey, long story short.
Right.
It's like he was getting there, but the development didn't fully mature. I mean, like
Yeah.
Did the nigga did
Wait, what's
he
up?
even get like Jonin respect? Like, cause Neji's the only one of that crew that made
Right.
it to Jonin,
No, no,
right?
no. Lee only made the tuning. That was it.
Yeah, so come on, man. Like, at least that would have been development if they gave him just a Jonin title. Then you could at least make the argument to say he did some growing. But like, come on, nigga. Everybody
Yeah.
went on a time skip to train, and you're still at the same level. Stop.
Here's the way I think about it. So we know we've all watched this show called Hinamaru Sumo.
Oh,
But
yeah.
the main fucking character, Hinamaru, was at a huge disadvantage compared to everybody else because of his size. Yet
Right.
that nigga pushed himself on a daily basis in order to become one of the top niggas out there running shit with niggas. But
Mhm.
this man, but it's basically the equivalent of if Hinamaru basically lost right before they got to that final tournament and was like, well, I guess that's that. And we all just ended the show from there. That's essentially what it felt like. You're seeing, somebody's growing or whatever. You're like, oh shit, they might be able to make a name for themselves. Yeah, they're the main character. They're gonna
Right.
fucking come to the end and reach their goal at the end of the day, and then just get injured at some point and be like, yep, that's the end of the season. Sorry guys. I guess I'm never gonna
Bro,
become
like
professional. That's the way it
that
feels.
was perfect, bro. Like, that was perfect. This is how you know if the nigga Rock Lee ain't worth shit. Like, bro, what if Naruto's story went like Rock Lee? Like, I got my ass whooping, I just quit being a ninja.
I'm a salary man now.
Right? I married a bum bitch and my kid a bum ass ninja too.
Yeah.
What was his next point?
Oh shit.
His next point was strength. Strength.
Okay. And this is where I feel like a lot of black folks put too much respect on like Dragon Ball Z and Rock Lee. It's like, I get it. My nigga was throwing good hands. We all like seeing it from time to time. But at the end of the day, compared to the world, that nigga wasn't doing shit, bro. Like, he don't got chakra. He can't get out of a genjutsu. A genin can beat this nigga no matter how good he is at whooping ass. It'd be like, oh shit, this nigga Rock Lee can beat me? Hold on. Genjutsu, that nigga sleep now. And he can't get out. Like, he literally cannot get out. That nigga not good. He can throw good hands, but is them shits gonna land? Like, if you're a bad ninja, Rock Lee can expose you. But if you're somewhat decent, there's no way you should be getting by a nigga that only throw hands.
Yeah.
Now that you say that, it does bring up the whole idea of what I was saying earlier with the whole Naruto versus Aang discussion, where Aang would be able to catch the nigga in his sleep, which we found out is no longer the case. if you were to run up on Lee while he was sleeping and do any fucking jutsu, he's screwed. The man can't do anything. He has to literally be awake and at his full potential at all moments in order to have a chance against most ninja in this world.
Bro, in Boruto, they actually showed that this nigga could. No, I'm just fucking with you.
I was all like, bro, fuck Boruto.
You would definitely. Yeah, I mean, for strength for me, like, I think it's been pretty much said, and it just goes back to the my guy stole all his shine points that I was making in the last thing. He's lost. I haven't seen him win a single fight except against himself. And the time where they could have gave him the opportunity to show that he's a raw ass nigga, my guy just did it. Like the person to figure out how to like counter the Mangekyo with the stupidest reasoning ever was my guy. He was like, "Yo, just look at these niggas' feet." Like that could have been given to Rock Lee, and then he would have had so much clout on his name just for figuring that. Like Rock Lee fanboys would probably never let that go, but they still gave it to my guy. So it's just like, they just didn't want this nigga to win. Like that's all it is, bro.
Yeah, that's the thing. All of the reason why people expect Rock Lee to be so damn raw is because we place all of Mike Guy's achievements onto Rock Lee, just because that's we know that he's supposed to be the carbon copy of this nigga.
Right. Yeah. But just because Mike Guy did it, don't mean Rock Lee will. And the thing is, like, niggas be like, oh, but 8 gates. I'm like, hey, you can use that argument for Mike Guy. You can't use it for Lee. Because 8 gates implies, like, you know you're about to kill yourself. You know what I'm saying? And, like, you got to be a tough son of a bitch to be like, hey, bro, I'm about to kill myself over this. Like, clearly, niggas ain't just doing that.
No, Rock Lee was willing to go there, though. We got to say that. He was willing to go there for stupid shit. Rock Lee could have died much earlier in the series if Sasuke and Naruto just took him that far. Like, if them niggas was like, all right, fuck it, we gonna try to kill you, Rock Lee would have gone all 8 on him.
That's back when that nigga still had hope that he could be a good ninja. I feel like after that nigga got older, after the time skip, he was like, bro, these niggas ain't, this ain't for. I feel like once that nigga Pain blew up the village, that's when that nigga was like, bro, this ninja shit not for me, bro. Like, it's dead, bro. I ain't doing none of these gates, nigga. What the fuck was kicking the nigga gonna do to Pain? Nothing.
It was gonna hurt him. The world shall know pain.
Oh. That nigga Rock Lee, we didn't see that nigga nowhere in that Pain fight. He knew what was up.
Here's the crazy thing though. If he were to go against Obito and the nigga unlocked his 8th gate and he went in for attack and then the nigga just poof disappeared on your ass right before you unleashed the attack. You just created a huge ass crater, but you did not kill a nigga and now you dead.
Be looking goofy as fuck. Die by ninjutsu, nigga.
Hey. I feel like a goofy honorable death is more honorable to Rock Lee than what he's gone through now. Which is just constantly being reiterated that you're shitty. Like, come on, in Boruto, bro, there's a fight versus him and his son almost drops his ass in the fight, bro.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like, yo, are you ever gonna get better? Your son?
You know what Rock Lee is like? Rock Lee is like seeing a 7 foot tall nigga that can't dunk. What you so big for, bro?
Oh my god!
All them goddamn kicks every day, bro. 1,000 kicks on that tree. All them trees you fucking chop down with your legs. Right. Oh no, they move now? I'm used to trees. Them niggas just stay there and take my kicks. All right, cool, man.
Wow.
We still have more points to talk about this because I feel like we got it.
I feel like we get it, but what's these other 2? Let's just see if they worse even hit.
3 is personality and 4 is results.
Okay, so we can skip results because we already said multiple times that nigga ain't got none. Nigga not producing, bro. That nigga would get fired if this was a job. Like, but we ain't gonna even go there. Personality, I feel like that's preference. You feel me? Like, you might fuck with that nigga. Like, you might be like, oh, he a cool nigga. Me personally, I thought Rock Lee came off as a lame. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm not trying to talk shit about Rock Lee fans, but I feel like it got something to do with niggas taking personal losses and then grinding in real life. So they like, oh, I grind, so I see that grind in this nigga Rock Lee. Me personally, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I've kind of always been a winner. I ain't never been on the losing type.
Wow.
So,
And that's how he just got another nomination for Goofy of the Year.
I'm saying this nigga definitely said he was the what you would call it. He said he was the main character in his own story, bro. You better relax, man. Millions on the table.
I'm not saying that I always get a dub, but I feel like I've always
Nigga, you literally just said I always win.
Yes, he did.
You came back and said, you know, I'm not trying to say I always win. But you definitely just said that.
So in essence, you just gave yourself an L.
Oh man. So let me clarify for the haters. I've always had a winner's mindset, not necessarily win. And I feel like Rock Lee does not have a winner's mindset. The first thing he did after getting his training, he was like, hey, let me flex on these bum ass niggas. And then when a real nigga came through, he got his ass whooped. And me personally, I just find that bitch made. That nigga was flexing on Sasuke and Naruto. That nigga was about to kill Sasuke, real talk.
Yeah, he was.
Came through, motherfucker wasn't hitting right. So I'm just like, hey, bro, Rock Lee, low key, you know, you don't produce, nigga. You ain't got no winner's mentality. I don't give a fuck how hard you try, nigga. At the end of the day, you didn't get the dub. I care about results, my nigga. So like, that's just where me personally, I'm just like, nah, I don't fuck with that nigga because I don't care about niggas trying hard. Like, oh, okay, you try hard, we still lost though. You know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing though. In the beginning of the story, yeah, I would say the nigga would be eligible to a lot of respect for the shit that he was doing, basically, especially when he was beating Sasuke's ass or whatever. But as the story went on, the nigga faded away and turned into nothing, and he turned into a like you guys said, a fucking businessman out in the streets trying to sell toilet paper.
Hey, bro, niggas out here making bread off that TP right now, bro.
I feel like, to me, like, Rock Lee reminds me of maybe like a bully early on in school, and then like years go by, you maybe never seen this nigga for a minute, and then finally at your like 10-year high school reunion, you see this nigga again, and he's like balding and just like his life shit. And like you was like, but you used to be like the talk of the town in 5th grade, you feel me? But like now I got a whole good ass job. You talk about you still working at McDonald's, like all types of weird shit. Yeah, and I'm just like,
you saying he on some 50 shit?
Well,
damn, homie. And back in high school, you were the man, homie.
Was the man, homie. Yeah. So that's how I feel about Rock Lee. Like, if you look back at the Naruto career, you would live the illusion that maybe he was on to something. But then once we enter Shippuden and now we're in fucking Boruto, it's like that nigga is damn near Kiba, bro. He's about to disappear. Like, Kiba, we still haven't seen, bro. Where is Kiba? I'm gonna start putting up posters around the world. Where is Kiba, bro? Because this nigga has not shown up. Nigga has not shown up, bro. Who? Kiba, you know Kiba. Akamar. Them niggas both, bro. Rocky, you're on the motherfucking chopping block. You better watch out, bro.
Yeah, I feel like Kiba one of them niggas. You come to the reunion and be like, oh man, I forgot about that nigga Kiba. Yeah, his ass used to go to this school.
Didn't you move right? You moved right? No, nigga, I've been here. I graduated with y'all. What?
Nigga, I live right across the street from you. Oh shit.
What?
Niggas hit you with the you was in our year? That's crazy.
Crazy ass, man.
Yeah,
no, fuck
with.
Yep. And Rock Lee just got to sit there and watch niggas just use his moves to be big ass motherfuckers, but he can't even do that shit. R.I.P. Rock Lee.
I feel like if the nigga if he would have at least found some type of powerful weapons or whatever, he would have been able to get somebody some kind of go. But no, He just said,
So
"Fuck it, just straight
you're trying
hands
to
and
make a-
legs."
So what you're saying is you're trying to make him Asta, though. Is what I'm hearing.
I don't understand that reference.
Oh, you'll be back.
What? Oh yeah. Oh shit. I forgot
You
about
don't want
that.
Black Clover?
Nah, bro.
No.
Hey, you guys-
He's
Bro,
a Rock Lee.
I'm currently
Magic World.
I'm currently in the midst of watching Fate Zero. So
Oh, right.
Oh, welcome to the club.
Nigga, drop that shit and do Black Clover instantly.
True.
I said, drop that shit and do Black Clover instantly. You sleep. Black Clover is what Rock Lee needed to have.
Right.
That is true.
Yeah.
No, so what's the
But,
Asta reference? So explain it.
Oh, Asta is Rock Lee in this universe. So it's a bunch of wizards. But this guy named Asta has no magic whatsoever and basically just bodies niggas with his hands and training.
But
And demons.
like a
Well,
sick
mostly hands and training.
sword that helped him throughout the plot. So it's like it's pretty.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, that was the reference. Like he got
yes,
So
yes,
yeah.
100%. Then the nigga needs a battle suit.
Yep.
Yeah. No, he could just stay there. Stay there. We're done with him, bro. Like there's like at this point, if Boruto tries to heal the Rock Lee wound that was left, like it's not gonna bring me back to the series. And nor do I think it's gonna bring anybody else. Maybe the crazy Rock Lee fanboys, but yeah, bro. It's done. What's done is done. R.I.P. Rock Lee. You dead to me.
Here's the thing that kills me. So the nigga B was able to use like what 8 swords when he was throwing hands against motherfuckers, but this man Rock Lee still couldn't push his own mindset to be able to use weapons in order to add some variety to the way he does combat. He just literally does everything the exact same way. He's like Luffy with doing different kinds of punches, but it's all just a punch.
He married a weapons expert, so he passed that along to Metal. They realized that like they couldn't have these two shitty characters live on forever, so they needed to combine them into one, and then they just have that nigga now.
But that's the issue. They could have been doing combo attacks on niggas. She could have been giving him all the fucking weapons, and he would have been throwing their hands with those weapons.
Trash. So let's remember that.
No, what I'm saying is they could have complemented each other and made each other more powerful.
You can't compliment a nigga if you so far behind. You feel me, bro? Like that bitch, she can't even box with them niggas.
I know, but Tenten just like she got put in a very unfair position because it's like by the time she was introduced, like kunais were already just he used substitution jutsu move now. Like whenever you see somebody throw a kunai in a hit, you was like, that's a log. Like it never was not that. So they immediately shut down the usefulness of weapons. Like after they fought Haku, it was like, what's the point of weapons again? And then they go, hey, here's this chick that only uses that shit that we just told you was useless a last arc ago. Like, all right, no hope for that bitch. Like it's over.
That's true. That's if she started creating guns and rocket launchers. but no, she didn't want to expand her mind.
Wow, man. Wow. Wow. I don't even know what to say. Anyway, so I guess we put a wrap on this one. Shout out to Mr. Edie for making that video. Here's our response. I guess about a month late now. So, all right.
Moral of the story: that nigga Rock Lee a bum.
Facts. I think for this one, I'll skip the Asta ship question and would you just do the stronger than and keep moving. So for this month, stronger than, we're going to do stronger than Kakashi at teaching. So everyone's going to share one teacher that they think from anime and manga is a better teacher than Kakashi. So I will start with Genkai from Yu Yu Hakusho. I think she's a dope teacher. Just in general, like she created Yusuke, like a regular human who turned into a spirit detective, who turned into basically like an S-class demon by the end of the series, mostly through her teaching. She was able to turn bum ass nigga Kuwabara into a fucking dimension cutting samurai. She was able to train Yusuke to beat basically like a former rival of hers, in such a short time frame, to just basically beat his ass by the end of that like tournament arc. So in general, as far as it goes from like building characters from shitty to strong, Genkai has proven that she's a master at that. Um, I like her no nonsense training style. I don't know. I just think she's all around a better teacher than Kakashi. I felt like Kakashi did not, while he taught greats, I don't know how much his teaching actually influenced them in terms of achieving greatness. And I felt like Genkai is an example of teaching to greatness.
Oh, I hear that.
That's mine.
I will go ahead and say my better than teacher. I got to go with Koro Sensei from Assassination Classroom. Like, it for the same reasons that MGG just said. Koro Sensei took 20, not just regular high school students, but like failing, like bad at high school dumb niggas. You know what I'm saying? Took a class of hood niggas. Took a class of hood niggas and turned them into expert assassins. And not just like, oh, we just know how to kill niggas, but like, nah, we're smart about it too. Like, all these niggas probably top 10 assassins in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To the point where they could probably come together and almost maybe kill a hypersonic demon squid man. So, I mean, I find that impressive. To at least get them to the ability where 20 versus 1, they could take on the top assassin in the world. And this was all in what, one school year? So in 1 year, they went from basic students who were useless to literally being expert assassins.
True.
Not to mention, he actually made them good at school too. So
yeah, right. Like actually made them
they
niggas
actually was passing their classes too. So
true. Yeah. All right, I'll go ahead and drop Biscuit from Hunter x Hunter. Definitely one of my faves. To Gon and Killua, not yet, but obviously going to be two of the top hunters, period. And like truly showed them how to use like the, I guess you can call it like the lifeblood of the strength for all hunters in the universe, Nen. And like she was definitely the core reason why they got good at Nen in the first place. And plus, she's just a straight OG that we still don't even know like the full potential yet. So I always give big ups to Bisky.
Yeah, and I say she's directly responsible for Gon powering up on what's her name as?
Oh, Pizza?
Yeah. I say without seeing Biscuit do it first, Gon never does it.
damn. All right. Valid argument. Gramps.
All right. This one is definitely coming out of the blue. I'm going to go with Lucas from The Promised Neverland.
Stop.
Yep.
What?
What?
All right.
Yep.
Really?
Goofy.
All right.
And there's your nomination.
Damn.
All
Y'all
right.
ain't shit. Yeah, I'm gonna go with him because yes, he definitely came into this world not fucking knowing how to survive in this demon world at all at the age of what I believe was around 16, and he started to recruit all of these children in order to be able to survive in this world and to be able to fight against them, and to be able to take somebody from that to be able to go against these extremely large creatures and short amounts of time, I feel like that definitely automatically puts you better than Kakashi would have, because that nigga probably would have had them niggas fending by themselves on their own, saying, all right, you survive? Okay, that makes you good now. While he's fucking reading porno magazines in the background. So that's by that zone, I think makes him better than Kakashi, what Kakashi would have been. I'm not saying that he's ultimately a hugely great teacher. I'm just saying he's better than Kakashi.
Wow. I'm actually just surprised in the first place we put respect on Promised Neverland after all this time. I'm kind of shocked. I ain't gonna lie.
I ain't trying to put respect on the show. I'm just putting a little bit of respect on one of the characters. Fuck the show.
I mean, Ergo, you put in respect on one of the characters means you put in respect on the show. So I mean, I'm not gonna like ask you for it necessarily, but I'm just shocked. I didn't see it coming.
I mean, he makes a valid point though, because it's like.
No, so here's the thing. If I were to put respect on the strength of a character in Fairy Tail saying, yeah, he can body this other character, I'm not putting respect on the show itself. I'm just saying that this character has a certain strength that's better than another character. Fuck all that. Because I still think Fairy Tail is trash, but they got some swole ass characters.
Okay.
That's true.
All right.
I think the argument for Lucas is valid. Being that if you take into perspective that like he really wasn't taught how to teach, like they were just raised in some farm, and then he ended up being able to come out with this plan and raise these kids to the point where they kind of feel like he's a father figure to them and listen to him and all that stuff like that. Basically came from his own spirit or however you want to explain he got that knowledge, but I think it's a valid perspective.
Okay. I mean, again, I wasn't saying that he was wrong. I'm just in shock about the respect on the Promised Neverland character. So I mean, hey, like more power to you. I'm just still in shock. I'm just trying to process.
I just figured I had to give an answer from a source where nobody would expect to ever receive one. So I was like, fuck it.
Well, I mean, hey, job well done. I'm surprised.
All right, so let's move on. Second part of that. So, do we have any teachers that are weaker than Kakashi that we know for sure?
You mean like Goku?
Woo?
Oh, wow. Go ahead and toss out why you think he's a weaker teacher. Why he's a trash teacher.
Tell me somebody that he's actually been effective at teaching.
Didn't he teach some nigga Super Saiyan? Didn't they say it's like a feeling in your back or some shit? Like that was
that wasn't even Goku though, was it? Or
I don't remember who it was. I remember they said that for someone though. Someone was like, it's feeling in your back.
I think they just looked at that nigga and figured it out. In all honesty. Yes. Well, to put it this way, his only way of training is by taking your ass to this Netherland and just fighting you nonstop. He's not teaching you techniques or anything like that. He's just throwing hands with you, beating your ass, and potentially throwing you into a tree as a baby.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay. I'm not gonna say that isn't how he teaches, but I mean, you could also argue like Genkai kind of did that with Yusuke a little bit though too, right? So I mean, is that really saying he's not a good teacher, or is just like a horrible teaching method, but can't produce results?
Yeah.
Well, so, if you have terrible teaching methods, doesn't that make you a shitty teacher?
I mean, well, if the student actually ends up learning something, though, I mean, in the end, it'll just be about results. Because I mean, so let me ask you this: like, would you say that Goku had a factor of teaching like Gohan Super Saiyan 2 in a way?
I wouldn't say so. I think he learned by watching.
I mean, but you could teach by showing people up too. I mean, like it all depends on how you really define the word teach, at least in my opinion. You know what? Wait. Why are we even talking about this? Player 5. I mean, you a teacher. What's your thoughts on this?
And so my bad. I did cut out for a little bit. So I'm guessing we're talking about Piccolo.
Oh, Goku.
I mean, because the way he described the Gohan teacher was kind of like a Piccolo thing.
He literally just admitted that Piccolo wasn't one that taught the nigga Super Saiyan 2 in this case.
No. So here's my thoughts on it. I just want to say Piccolo is a trash teacher and Goku is a phenomenal teacher. Reason why. Hold on. Everybody about to go, but check it out. Piccolo didn't teach that nigga Gohan. He threw that nigga in the wild and was like, hey, bruh, if you live, you can fight. And then that nigga Gohan went into a fight and got worked. Goku was like, hey, son, come with me. I'm about to teach you how to fight. And when he came out, he saved the fucking world. So, results, you feel me? Yeah, that's all I got to say. My nigga Goku, we can say what we want, but at the end of the day, Gohan saved the world after training with him, so.
That nigga used the
That
power.
was interesting. I mean, like what you just said pretty much like highlighted both points of what me and Graham said, but like with opposite what we were trying to say.
Whoopsie.
Well,
hey, it's player 5, baby.
Wow.
I'm done. Anyway, any other teacher shittier than Kakashi out there?
Yeah, I gotta put this out here, bro. They not getting me. I forgot that nigga name again. Zushi Daddy, bro. That
Stop
nigga,
it, bro. Hey, get off Wing, bro. Y'all niggas need to leave Oos alone, bro. The originator of the Oos.
He needs to pass that shit down to my nigga Zushi, bro. He holding my nigga Zushi back. Like if Zushi would have trained with Biscuit, bro, this nigga he'd have killed the motherfucking Chimera ants, bro.
He would be dead, bro. Stop playing. He would be
Yo. Hold on. This nigga Killua took a nigga heart out his body and gave it to that nigga in a doggy bag, bro.
Yep. He said Merry Christmas.
My nigga Zushi was like, oos! And Killua, a stone cold killer, was like, hold on now. Yeah, hold on, bro. I don't know if I want this. So niggas can't tell me what my nigga Zushi could and could not have done, bro.
Well, who did he learn that from?
Did
Wing, bro.
See how fast they developed their nen past this man Zushi, though.
Because Wing holding him back, he know what that nigga got, bro.
Wow. Hey, when y'all see, if they ever bring the anime back and y'all see Wing in the Dark Continent, you're going to put some respect on his name. That's all I can say. I'm going to leave it at that. Any other teachers? Yeah, I know we brought up last time Benny Maru from Fire Force. He's trash because all he did
all that nigga did was beat niggas.
to train them. So that's another one. I don't know if we had anyone else for bad teachers.
No one's coming to mind.
All right. Well, wrap that up. That's it for anime. Let's move on to questions from the audience. So we have a question from Animaniac85 on Instagram, and he says, "How did you guys meet?" So more or less, I met everyone but player 5 in college. And I don't remember how each of the individual anime conversations started. I remember mine with Du started because we lived on the same floor. So I found out by happenstance that he was reading like Bleach or some anime or manga, and then we just started having conversations off that. We were both current on One Piece, so then we were talking about that too. And then Gramps and Jugga, I think we talked about, yeah, we figured it out based off of one of the Nesby conferences. Mm-hmm. We were talking about like Nami or something. And then we figured out we were all into anime then. And then Gramps said, I don't remember if that was in college that I found out you were into anime or after.
I think we definitely found out that I was into anime much later on in college.
All right. Well, I don't remember exactly when. I don't know if that was when I was popping over y'all house for Mario Kart or if it was after that.
Yeah, I would assume it was probably somewhere during that time of the year. But we met somewhere during our freshman year in college. I believe I was when I was teaching trying to teach a certain somebody physics, and you were already a close friend of hers and joined along one day.
I need that help. Hey, that physics 100 was kicking my ass, fam. I did not know what they was doing magic. They was doing magic in class. I was sitting in the class, bro. They was like, yeah, today we're going to teach you about how force works. Sat in his fucking chair, started spinning around, bro. Had this tire on a stick, and he started turning the tire on the stick. This nigga started spinning in the opposite direction. I said, yo, I'm going to fail this fucking That looked like magic to me. What I saw looked like fucking real magic to me.
You say you got earthbenders, waterbenders, airbenders, but these niggas are magic.
Yeah, that's a whole loose shit. I said, what? What is this? What are we doing? Yeah, so I needed that help. For real. And then player 5 I met all the way I was in high school. Yeah, I met in high school. It was a very traumatic experience that day. I don't know if I ever told that story time, but maybe it'll come up later on.
That could have been a story time session for today.
That could have been. But I'll save that story time for later. Maybe on the 100th episode.
You've alluded to the story like 5 different times. It's like maybe niggas were being thirsty. Maybe
That's
niggas.
what I'm saying. You gotta build the hype for that story. So the 100th episode, I'll tell the player 5.
Wow.
We call it the pussy hunting story. That's what I'll call it.
Oh man.
But yeah, we met then, and then we was friends. Then I kind of like ghosted for about 10 years, and then we reconnected at a party.
That's another story.
Then I found out he was into like romantic comedy anime, and I suggested he come on the podcast to do like an interview about Sword Art Online. We flamed the shit out of Sword Art Online. He was like, "Hey y'all, I got a camera." I was like, "Hey, you want to join the podcast?" And then he did the podcast. Yeah, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is that.
Different accounts on how all this happened. You know, niggas just didn't run to respect my big nigga mentality. Do you feel me? You know, Gramps was trying to beat me up on the daily. Exerting his light skinned nigga pressure on me. You feel me? I was just, you know, nigga out here in these streets trying to make it. And then eventually I came up in the world, bro. That's how I'm gonna tell the story. When I'm doing a biopic and I'm the main character.
All right, Lee.
Wow. Gonna be walking.
It's over with. It's over with.
I just, anybody else got anything to add?
No.
Okay, I just wanted to mention something that had got dropped because of our technical difficulties. But before, to the person that had asked, like, how do you guys meet? I had a bonus question for the podcast. I asked them what was my original, basically, like, a podcast name when I was just being a guest interviewed. And all of these niggas got it wrong.
It was Player 4.
Head ass. It was guest 5, special guest 5. And then it became Player 5, you know, once I got plugged in. But I just wanted to throw that out there, you know, for the OGs that been watching.
Hey, back when we was the decent crew.
Respect, right? Respect. Back when niggas' brand changed.
So all right. The other question comes from Cheshire Cat 00 on Instagram. What's your ideal anime/manga series? What makes a best one in your opinions? And like we said, this is kind of very similar to what we do when we go to conventions. A panel we do called Trash or Lit. Is this anime good for you? Where we share our opinions and perspectives on this stuff. So this year we're going to be at a couple of ones. So make sure you come check us out if you're going to be at.
That Rona might change that, bro.
Oh, that's true. We'll see if those are still around. But flights are cheap as hell, bro. Flight to Dallas is like $97. So shit, y'all might still see me there, even if there might not be no convention.
You'll be the only one there, that motherfucker walking around here,
bro. Wow. With a stand, like a little lemonade stand that just say AfrOtaku on it. You feel me? So look out. Be on the lookout. But yeah, what are your guys' things? What makes your ideal anime or manga series? Do you have any best ones or favorites?
I think that to me, overall, it has to be engaging in some way, shape, or form, whether it be with story, action, or like character interactions. Some of my favorite animes aren't even action based, or I love them not even because they action, just like the interaction with characters, which is probably why my favorite anime are romantic comedies. Toradora will be an example of one that I really love. All the characters interact in their own specific ways with each other. I like Black Clover because you know they unapologetic. Like, look, nigga, we're here for the hands, and you might get a little bit of story here on the side, and I respect that. It's engaging, so as long as I'm engaged, I'm liking it.
All
right. As a man who loves food and loves it a lot, my favorite manga has to be Toriko.
Damn.
How smooth can a nigga get, and how delicious can the food get? Simple as that.
Damn. Okay.
All right.
Simple and sweet.
So
Right.
food and strength are ideals.
All I'm saying is, if they would have had some mild sauce in that manga, niggas would have got unlimitedly strong.
Wow. I'm ready. And there's that.
All right. So I'll go ahead real quick. So pretty much the big 3 points for me, for me to like an anime manga would be action, mystery, comedy, either one heavy in one of those three or a good combination of all three, and you pretty much have my ideal kind of series. My favorites would probably be like Hunter x Hunter, One Piece, and then if you got like a show with like crazy stupid hands or animation, I'm gonna like it, which could be a variety of like, the OG DBZ, Yu Yu Hakusho, Rurouni Kenshin, Trigun, just like epic anime kind of stuff, and then with like nice incorporations of comedy. And then if you have any like big mystery, maybe like crime solving kind of stuff, you're definitely gonna be getting a lit from me. So yeah, that's all.
All right. For me, I would say it's. Oh, go ahead.
No, you're good.
Oh, yeah. For me, I would say it's definitely a combination of like strats, and interesting power systems and variety. So I like shows with where there's multiple characters that get development, like Hunter x Hunter, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, what else? I don't know. There's others, but basically mostly I like there to be some sort of strategy and thinking with fights, which you get a lot in Hunter x Hunter and JoJo's. And I like a variety of powers, which you get in both of those series, and a variety of like a complex power system where it's kind of like interesting. Every fight is different. It doesn't feel like somebody's just going to keep getting friendship power ups. It's really based off of like the skill of the fighter in terms of like who might be coming out at the end. Another show that's giving me a lot of those vibes is like Jujutsu Kaisen. It's starting to build like those complex power systems, a lot of character development, a lot of interesting storytelling. So it's got me hooked because of that. So yeah, those would be mine. All right. So on to the manga section of the podcast. I know some new chapters dropped, so we can drop anything that we feel like we want to discuss from there too. But I just want to touch on some new manga I've been reading. One is Mash, Magic and Muscles. I feel like this is basically if Black Clover was written by One, the guy who writes the One Punch Man manga. It's basically about this guy who has no magic powers whatsoever. But the world he's in actually kills people with no magic powers. He somehow has been able to survive up until now. Basically, he's just a super strong motherfucker. His foster parent or whatever has just been training him in regular strength shit. So he just has these amazing strength feats, and ends up enrolling in this magic high school. The whole goal is basically to become like the magic emperor. So once he does that, he can kind of abolish the law that kills people with no magic powers. It's just overall funny as hell. Like the story isn't even worth following as much as just the crazy shit that this guy does with his strength. Like he's basically tested on magic stuff at every so often, but he finds a way to use strength to like make it seem like he's using magic. So they had him do like this broom test where he had to fly this magic broom across like some long distance. Instead of flying it, what he did was he threw the broom so hard and so fast that it looked like it was floating, and then he just jumped on top of it, so it looked like he was riding the broom like it was magic, but he actually was just using strength to do it. So
didn't somebody
overall,
do that in the original Dragon Ball series? Like they kicked the pillar off and threw that bitch and then hopped on top of it and flew away.
General Tao.
Oh, you did that? Yeah. So either way, I think it's a dope series. It's only I think probably the 7th chapter drop now. It's fairly new. So I'm gonna wait till it builds up some more, and then I might do an impression video. The other one that I want to talk about is Guardian of the Witch. This is another, starts off kind of like a typical shonen. It looks like something go down. But there's a variety of powers and characters, so I'm giving it a read for now. Basically, overall premise is just there's these girls at the age of 12 are given this like seed, and basically if they're able to survive this experience, the seed experience, they turn into what's called a witch. A witch just can cast magic, and they use this magic to fight these things called evils, which are just these monsters that show up in the world for some reason. Every witch has a guardian, and basically what you find out is that it's a guardian's task to not only protect the witch, but after a certain point, they end up being controlled by this evil. So it becomes a guardian's responsibility to also kill that witch. So we basically just follow a specific pair of guardian and witches, and they decide the time comes where he's supposed to kill his witch, and he decides not to, and that kind of kicks off the main plot of the story, which is, can we find a cure for witches, and can we kind of get rid of this like witch evil hunting system? So far, the action is dope. It's interesting, and I think it just has the potential to catch one of those like maybe not big 3 level, but your typical shonen actiony type of series. So also rare new on chapters, but I'm gonna keep reading. That's it for new for me. Anybody got anything new they wanted to highlight?
New manga, no.
I got nothing.
Same, nothing.
All right. Anything on these chapters we wanted to highlight?
Yes, sir.
All right.
So, man, these heroes going hard. That's all I gotta say. Like, these heroes going hard as far as locking shit down. You know,
What show are you referencing?
My bad. I'm talking about My Hero Academia. The heroes basically just kind of bust into or raided the villain's hideout, and they like locked it down. They like, this nigga Cementos ripped all the cement off they building. That was hard as fuck.
Yeah,
like these heroes looking hard, but the crazy thing is, like, I know that none of that matter because Shigaraki gonna wake up and body these niggas, bro.
Yeah.
Like, man, I was just talking on the Decent Spot with some niggas about that. It's like, my man Shigaraki took out 110,000 person town. That's a whole Naperville. My nigga slapped a whole Naperville out of existence, bro. I don't give a fuck what none of these niggas doing. When Shigaraki wake up, they ass is dead.
Yeah, he's definitely on his
He's gonna
Thanos
get
shit.
stronger.
And the last thing,
stronger.
I feel like we've all watched fucking Twice Go Hard. Everybody's seen it. And I feel like once you see Twice Go Hard once, that's enough for you to know, nah, this is dead, bro. Like, don't play with this nigga. And this dumbass nigga Hawk.
Yeah, bro.
Playing,
I wasn't surprised.
Oh my god. This nigga Hawk is dumb as hell.
He's the OG Goofy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Like, we saw the plan. He went up on Endeavor and he said, "Yo, bro, I got this book. Read it," and walked off. Of course, his dumb ass would go up on Twice and be like, "Yeah, I think one feather could take out one Twice. So I think I got more than enough feathers to fight this nigga twice." Like, no, bro. Your feathers are not going to take this nigga out, bro. It's not
like,
going
you
to work like
just no words that nigga. Twice is not a nigga to be talking to. He's insane, first of all. Like, no, 100%. You should just drop this nigga point blank, period. That's it.
Yep.
Talking to Twice is how you about to get everybody murked. Because if this nigga was just like, you know what, instead of making a bunch of Twices, I'm gonna make a bunch of Dobbies and we about to blow this whole building the fuck up.
True. I might have to nominate this nigga Hawks for Goofy.
Hey, bro, I already changed my Goofy to Hawk, bro.
He's up there.
He might. I'm talking about Goofy of the year, bro. He might have to get nominated.
You said his fuck up was that huge. He's gonna take the whole year.
Like, we see how this arc play out.
His fuck up might literally destroy everything these heroes just did.
True.
Yeah, because not only that, it's like, first of all, you were the what you call it? I don't even know what it's called, but basically the montage moment trigger for Twice. And we all know from watching anime, from reading manga, when that montage gets kicked off, a nigga about to turn up, bro. Like you about to see some shit you ain't seen before. So he was that for Twice. So who knows what the fuck is finna walk out of that room? Not only these clones, but whatever else he's finna fucking pull out. If he pulls out a fucking Otaku and can steal niggas' powers now too, it's about to be a wrap.
Here's the thing I don't understand. Why you ain't just knock his ass out and then just, whisk him away over to prison?
Because that's a non-goofy thing to do. This nigga live his life doing the goofiest shit he can think of. Gotta be.
He said he a boom gang ass nigga.
Gotta be. No, dumbass nigga. Like, he really in the running for Goofy of the Year for that. Like, and nigga, if he died because of this, oh my God.
I just feel like as number 2 of the pro heroes, like, I think it's kind of nasty, the matchup that they set up. Like, I fuck with Twice, don't get me wrong, but I do not see him as, like, number 2 in Tomura's crew. So, like, it kind of bothered me that Hawks felt like he needed to, like, handle that himself. It kind of felt like to me he was, like, saying, well, I'm on this nigga's level because I'm handling it by myself. I'm like, no, nigga, you should be going after Dobby if you wanted to fight somebody, but, like,
your power he can't fight Dobby? Shut up, dude.
He can't fight Dobby. I don't agree with that.
Roast that nigga like chicken.
I'm just saying, as number 2, that's another thing why Endeavor's goofy to me too. It's like, as number 2 is number 1, I'm seeing these niggas in very goofy positions for supposed leaders of, like, the Hero Association. Like, y'all niggas supposed to be fighting the toughest niggas, not out here doing crowd control. Like, Endeavor was just doing crowd control in the fucking other chapters. Like, nigga, why are you doing crowd control? Miracle's in there taking on 4 or 5 high-end Nobu.
You have to remember that Hulk is not a fighter, though.
He's number 2, bro. I feel like you gotta put fighter respect on you for being number 2. Endeavor
he's
was
number 2 for saving niggas, not for beating niggas' ass.
Well, I mean, he gotta have at least top 10 hands. Like, he ain't gotta be the number 1 nigga with the hands. 10. But you're not gonna tell me he ain't at least top 10.
Look like katanas. I'm not finna say that you ain't got hands, bro. How you gonna walk up in here with some katana feathers and then about to get dropped by Twice? No, fam.
Remember the argument we just made earlier in the podcast. Katanas don't do shit when niggas got hella strong ass powers in this world. His fucking weak ass katana feathers. He could have caught Twice sleeping. He could have knocked the nigga out while he was thinking that they were all buddy and shit and called it a day. He fucked up on that part. But if they stood on the opposite side of the battlefield and they running up at each other, that nigga Twice is going to turn into 1 million people and work his ass.
Mm.
So but like his clones is self. Go ahead.
No, I'll say you can go ahead.
Oh, but like, doesn't Twice's clones only take like a punch worth of damage?
Broken bone worth of damage.
Right.
Okay. So, yeah, broken bones worth of damage. So I would assume that his leaves or the katana should be able to do something close to that level of damage. So I don't know. I don't see he's gonna lose, but like I'm just disappointed for number 2. I would expect him to not have that much trouble with the Twice bodies, but
this is what I'm gonna say. I think if Twice was less crazy, he could definitely be the number 2. Like, I think his quirks itself stronger than Dobby, stronger than everybody else is there. So I think it is reasonably decent to put a high level hero on Twice because like that nigga literally soloed the whole town. So like he deserves it. But it is my thing. I think that nigga should have just knocked him out instead of talking. They should have put headshot on Twice and like just knock that nigga out, bro. No words.
True.
The only thing that got me thinking Hawks might be saved from being goofy is his face after the panel. Like when this nigga Dobby do his like sad man's parade and start multiplying, this nigga Hawks don't look shook. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's why I'm thinking like maybe this nigga might turn up. Cause he really don't look shook at all. He like, oh, okay. All right, we about to fight, nigga.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yeah, no, fuck him. That's all I can say. You know, fuck fuck Hawks. I'm disappointed. Like, first of all, like what you were talking about with matchups, I think a Miracle versus Twice matchup would have been dope because she just has like the movements and the strength to where I don't see her having that much trouble with Twice if we're talking broken bones worth of damage. I'm sure them rabbit kicks is breaking bones. So like, I just think they were goofy all in all in the matchup. And to me, it's just like this whole chapter pissed me off for various reasons. Like outside of the Twice and Hawks thing, that part with Free Destro, like when they ran into the room and this nigga just gets immediately stressed. I'm just like, y'all niggas really didn't know?
Right?
Like up until this point, like y'all niggas really didn't know they was gonna pull up on y'all. Like, I find it just hard to believe. It just seemed like the whole world is goofy. Because I feel like as
remember? Did you not remember how Redestro almost won Goofy of the Year, bro? Like, I'm not surprised.
I feel you, but I was just like, y'all bringing it back with this, like with the amount of power and influence they have. They didn't know these niggas was pulling up. One. Second, it's like the heroes themselves didn't even have that articulate of a plan. They just found the base like that quick. Like we didn't even get information on how they figured out where these niggas live. It was just like boom, that's where they are. Like cool, we gonna attack this shit now. Or I guess Hawks was giving it back to them like where their base was. But it's like all in all, I just think like from both sides, the more I look at the plan, I just go like, this is fucking goofy. Now, if I just focus on the fights, sure, I'm enjoying the fuck out of it. Like, it's nice to see niggas busting out new moves and doing all this shit. But as far as like the plan itself, I just feel like, yo, what, like, this makes no sense. Like, how this plan was executed.
How did this nigga Redestro get his legs back?
Hey, just stress. The stress made him walk again.
Oh, yeah, he is walking.
You can see this nigga legs. Like, them shits is back.
Professor Xavier ass.
Damn.
Technology, bro. Remember, they do have that. They do have that crazy ass doctor working with him. That's helping out Shigaraki become stronger.
That's true. That is true.
What if Redestro's a normal, y'all? Oh no!
Shut your ass.
Oh no, Nani. So yeah, when Shigaraki comes out and drops all these niggas, I'll be satisfied.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is just way too easy. I mean, there's no way this is all gonna go out without a hitch. I mean, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Any other highlights before we shit on Promise Neverland and wrap it up?
Nope.
All right.
Flush your tissue. It's time to take a shit.
Wow.
So I just want to take a second to go for all those people that are still reading the Promised Neverland manga. Like, we hear you. That shit is trash. It's garbage. I'm not gonna deter the anime fans just yet because maybe they'll save it in the anime. But like, yo, if you were on the fence considering like, I want to make that transition. The anime was so good. Don't just stay it out. Just watch the fucking anime seasons because this shit is garbage, bro. And this Lewis thing that just happened.
Holy
spoiler alert. This Lewis thing that just happened. Like, what the fuck, y'all?
Yep.
What? What? All right. But yeah, that's all I had to say for that. Anybody else want to shit on Promise Neverland before we move on to MVPs and Goofies?
No.
Why is Lewis back? Like, really?
He survived. The weirdest one was
is
like,
he back and how?
He's the other brother, right? Like, so there's the like royal family is like Legra Varma, the queen, Sungju, and Lewis. Right? Because he said my sister.
Even though I don't think we knew originally that Lewis was their brother.
Exactly. We didn't. I don't think we did either. And it's like, so Sungju and Lewis are brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's nasty. It's all nasty.
And why the fuck is Lewis? Why is Lewis back to essentially help out the kids? Like, hell no! If these niggas just put a bullet through my face, shit. I feel like he's the type of person who enjoys the hunt way too much to just let that shit slide.
Oh no, for me, I feel like he might still want to go after them, but I also think that I never saw Lewis as a evil character. He always just remind me of a berserker type, which is just like I'm in it just to throw hands. Like that's really all I care about. So I think he's kind of seeing the chaos as another way to start off a world where like niggas throw hands again because everything was pretty much too safe. That's why they had to do the whole Goldie Pond shit because they couldn't hunt humans anymore. They couldn't have like those battles or those wars like they used to. So he was like, all right, well, Goldie Pond. So I didn't see it as like weird that he did that. I was just kind of like, oh, why are you still alive kind of thing. But whatever.
Yeah, I'm in complete agreement.
I think that officially goes to show that like, has Emma caught any real bodies then? Because that would have been the one person where I'm like, well, you did kill a demon, you killed Lewis, but like, no.
I would assume that she's killed like background demons, like those dog type demons or whatever.
The man eaters.
Yeah, that's
yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I think this was just like a simple pull-out solution to kind of start wrapping everything up. Like that's the only thing that makes sense to me. Long story short.
And did they hint at her wish in this chapter?
I feel like I caught.
I guess, yeah. I mean, he's probably gonna do like his last. Oh yeah, don't shoot me, but I'm gonna try and stab you in the back to finish off Emma. Emma's gonna finish him off, and then maybe as like a last quote unquote gift, she tells him like what the promise is. Like right now, that's kind of like my theory of how this is about to end, or at least start to end, should I say?
Yeah.
But yeah, this needs to hurry up and call it. They need to just call it. It's kind of ridiculous.
All right. MVPs and Goofies of the month. So for me, my MVP gotta go to Mash from Magic and Muscles. That nigga is just too funny and too swole. I like it a lot. And he's just a funny guy. And then for my Goofy, I gotta give it to Peter Ratry. And shout out to this chapter that came out because it just put like triple the respect on why I don't fuck with this nigga Peter Ratry. Like it was just more pussy ass bullshit in this chapter from Peter Ratry that just is like, yo, like you're the final boss. Like even Archduke Lewis was like, yo, this nigga's a hoe. Like he called him a bitch. Like, nah, he's trash. Bro, he's goofy. He might be nominated for Goofy of the Year.
For my MVP, I'm gonna continue to give it to All for One Bakugo, second week in a row, because that shit went fucking hard. I know I'm a big, proponent of Deku should have All for One because he showed what it means to be a true hero. But Bakugo having All for One really starts to sway my opinion, bro. I don't know. Give it to that nigga. The world might be saved. And as far as my Goofy of the year, or shit, I'm already projecting. My Goofy of the month got to go to Hawks. It was another nigga, but Hawks just outshined this nigga in 1 week. Like for the reasons we were mentioning, if you're fucking trying to stop twice, you do not put that nigga at knife point and say, chill out, bro. Like, you don't do that. Fuck that nigga Hawks, bro. He about to ruin everything. Stupid bitch.
Oh no. Hey, Gramps, you go ahead. I'm just trying to think of a Goofy right now.
All right, so for my MVP of the week, I can't remember her name right now, but the chick from Demon Hunter, the one who put all the poisons into Demon Michael Jackson. Yeah, Tamayo. She definitely came in clutch for all these niggas in order to bring them the win. She's the true MVP of the whole show. Fuck Tanjiro. And for my Goofy, I'm going to give it to Odin. Because that nigga definitely could have took out Kaido and stopped all of that shit that's happening over in Wano. So I'm gonna have to give him my Goofy and call it at that.
Back though.
Yeah. Actually, F around. Okay, so for MVP, you got to give it to Dante of the Dark Triad over in Black Clover, because this kid is literally a Dark King, bringing the smoke with his gravity magic. Can't wait for the development right now. As far as Goofy goes, I think I'm actually gonna give it to Isabella from Promised Neverland. Because I just feel like the whole, I don't know, it just seems, it was too, I just feel like if she started to work with the kids maybe from the get-go, but super low key, it could have just ended a lot smoother, or at least like helped out the plot a little bit more. Like if somehow she was just like a low-key supporter before now, if she was actually like helping out the squad in ways that we didn't know, and then she revealed it like, hey, I actually was the reason for this, that, or this, and he's like, you were the spy or something like that. It could have been like so much better, but it's just the whole plot of how Promised Neverland is like wrapping up is just kind of redonkulous. And like thinking about it, I think that could have actually been a heavy plus. So I'm gonna call Isabella for being a goofy for not implementing some strategy or at least some hardcore intelligence along the way. But that is what it is.
All right. Well, that's it for this episode. We'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.
Until next time.
Bye.
Peace.